So, welcome, Ganga.
Welcome.
Come too. Very nice to be invited to a new adventure.
Yes.
That's very good. Very good. We always start with the same question to everyone. How did Osho come into your life and what happened next?
Well, in a way, I guess I was just ready. I'm coming from this little village and there is, not much happening. And so from early on, I was all over the world and did kind of all the things I was supposed to do, like studying and then marrying. And I didn't do well with having children. So my marriage didn't last very long. And then I was in another relationship and thinking, I don't know how this works with love. I have to learn how to love. It's like there is so much love and I don't know how to do it because I have ideas, how I'm supposed to be, what to say, what not to say. I just don't know how to do this. And literally, I was in Berlin at the time. A few, not even weeks, somebody said, "Oh, there is a workshop happening. I think you would like it." And I was working in children and youth psychiatry, and I hated the job because it was like what I was asked to do was so ridiculous and so against everything what I was convinced of. It was so superficial and inhuman that I thought I don't want it. So, but then I needed to have a job, and so I went to this workshop, and it was a workshop about Gestalt therapy, and it was led by a woman who appeared there in red with a mala. To me, this didn't mean anything. And I had a very deep experience in this weekend. And at the end, she said, oh, that was like around Christmas time. At Easter, there is an intensive in London and you have to come. And I said, okay, I'm coming. I had no clue what it was. I quit my job, which was like just the end of my probation year. All I knew, I need to go there. And it was kind of so, I'm not an impulsive person. It was kind of just, but there was no question. Yes, I'm coming. And that was a 10-day Satori group. So I kind of just jumped into this huge pot in the middle of London city in a basement with a bunch of other people. And I had no clue, what am I doing there? And I had told to my boyfriend, well, you're welcome to come along with me, but I'm going. So he came. And he hated it.
Oh.
And I loved it. So he went back and I stayed. And so long story, a few months later, I was in Pune. And it was just like, yes. And I never regretted it that I gave up this life because they had taken me. And I would have been like really employed by the government. You have a very good salary. You have your pension. You are taken care of in many ways. So I just dropped it. And in a way, that's where my life started.
It was in Pune 1?
That was in, end of 75.
Wow.
So I stayed till Osho left to India, to the States. So I lived this time in the ashram, as it was called then. And then, yeah, by and by, like I was called to first assist and then lead the enlightenment intensives, as they were called. So,
how was for you to meet Osho at this time? How was
well,
how was it?
though everything was strange, like for me, it started arriving in Pune when I was at the station. I had come with a train from Bombay, and when I set foot on the ground in Pune, and I've never been to India or anything, I just burst into tears because I felt I'm home. And I said, well,
Wow.
how can this be? So I went to in a horse cart to the ashram, and then a few days later there was um, I had a darshan and took sannyas, and it was like, okay, close your eyes, and it was in the back porch where later on it was like his car was parked. That was the porch where you would meet. So he would sit there and you would be in front, and I was like desperate. Oh, I have come, I cannot have individual darshan, because just a week before, so he stopped giving individual, only very famous people could see him, and otherwise there would be like so many, 15 people. Little did I know that later on there would be like 200 people sitting when you would take darshan or sannyas, and so many. So there I was, and he all in white with his collar and his cufflinks. And it reminded me a little bit of my father, because he's a doctor and he was in white. And Osho would have that little torch, and he would shine on your chakras. I don't know what he did. It just felt I'm being examined. Yeah.
Yeah, we
And then he just said, "Don't be afraid, and this is your new name, Ma Prem Ganga, sacred river of love." And
wow.
that is one of the most beautiful Indian names. And I said, oh, well, for me, it was like I was just overwhelmed. And I had my head down there, and he was kind of bending down, and I'm small, yeah. He was kind of bending down and said, "Will it be easy to pronounce?" So he helped me to come out of my whatever state, yeah. So I had to repeat, Prem, Ganga, and I did. And then looking at just, I don't know, there was just something, same feeling of being home, but in a different way than just setting. But I couldn't tell, it was not like in a very descript way, as some people have these wonderful, I didn't have that. It was just, I just knew I'm in the right place and I understand nothing. But I knew I'm home.
Wow.
And
Wow.
yeah,
Beautiful. Was this time that Osho already started calling the experimental therapies from Switzerland?
it's like when I came, many of the groups he sent me to, or I took part in, they were all happened for the first time, because these people, they were just slowly coming. And the Enlightenment Intensive, who is actually invented by Charles Berner, an American actually family counselor, who also came to Pune, but then he left again. So I saw him, but I never met him. Yeah? And after that, Osho, like the Enlightenment Intensive, or there it was called Intensive Enlightenment in Pune, almost everybody was sent there. So it happened many, many times. Yeah? And Amida, who was she was trained in Arica, and she was leading it, and I was assisting her. Yeah? Then I started to lead it, because with 3 awareness intensives a month, it's a lot. Yeah. So there were like 2 big ones on Krishna House roof. The biggest one was 214 people.
Wow.
It was like, and everybody had to sleep up there. And we had 6 toilets and 6 showers.
For 200 people.
So it
Wow.
Yes, great.
was choreography, a dance in many, many, many aspects. And yeah, it was just, I mean, so energetic, so powerful. And nobody understood anything what we were doing. And but it worked.
Krishna House was the place where the Zorba restaurant is.
There was, like, in the beginning, there was Chaitanya, which later on was the finance department, and group leader, had an office there. That was the meditation hall. So, and
On
then
the roof. On the
no,
roof.
no, underneath.
Underneath the basement.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
okay.
Like on ground level, not in the cellar. Yeah.
Okay.
That was the other side. That was the therapy chambers on the other side. And the meditation, there was no Buddha hall, like the fence. The property ended when you come into the main gate. On your left side, maybe 2 meters, was the border. And there were cows grazing on the other side, where later on
Wow.
Buddha hall was built. Yeah. And so in Krishna House, there was, like, for the meditations during the day, it was in the Chaitanya, which later on became office buildings. And then in Osho's house, in Chaitanya auditorium, like downstairs, where later on the evening, the darshans happened. That was the meditation hall where we would sit.
How was for you the first dynamic meditation?
Well, I had done dynamic meditation before in this Gestalt workshop group, and in Berlin there was a group. Some people had just come back from Arica and also from London there, who brought it. So I have done my first dynamic meditation. I did in a dining room of a hotel where this workshop was happening. There was just a few of us. We would put the chairs to the side and we would do dynamic meditation. But then in Pune, of course, to do it in Buddha Hall, or in the beginning, it was outside, huh? Just
Open air.
Open air. Where later on, when you come into the main gate, to the left, there was a nicely swept dirt, like sandy beach. You would brought your mat with you, you roll it out, and that's where we did meditations. But then, of course, in rainy season, you couldn't do that. So that's where Chaitanya hall came in. And this was, was often with live music, fantastic. fantastic to do it. So much energy and so free and wild, and we were all young and going for it, and it was fantastic. Yes.
Yes, we've seen this video on YouTube with Anubhava singing
Yeah.
like a madman. Yeah.
Yes. And it was so, I mean, still thinking of it, I get goosebumps. Huh? It just, you would just be transported in no time. And also Nivedano, when he was on the drums, he would also get everybody going. And what was the other drummer from Brazil who died already? Wonderful little man, fantastic drummer.
Another one from Brazil.
Yes. I can't remember. Maybe it comes. He, yeah.
Yes.
Musicians, they were fantastic musicians. The whole.
Maybe you are talking about Rupesh.
Rupesh, that's it.
Rupesh was Mexican.
Sorry.
Mexican.
For me,
Yes.
this is all over there.
When you started talking, things were coming because we interviewed Nivedanu and he told us about the beginnings, of it, the music rising with Osho. Yeah, it's fantastic. It was a great team of musicians. Yeah,
fantastic, and it was so. I don't know. It was just all over the place. The creativity would just burst open because the atmosphere was so free and open, supportive to just go for it. Yeah. And though it was wild, but it was also caring and loving. It was not sure. Some people were reckless as everywhere, but basically there was an atmosphere of letting be, experimenting, being open and trying something out and not pretending something to be somebody. And if that's what you needed to do, yes, then you did it and you got a few giggles or laughs. Yeah.
and then you started being trained and started leading groups on this intensive enlightenment.
Yeah, well, I was actually before I came, because in this 10-day one in London, at the end, I fell in love with the co-leader. And so we started to lead some who is in, I would support him in leading the Enlightenment intensives in England. And then when I came to Pune, in the beginning, I just took part in groups. And one day I asked Osho in a darshan that I had difficulties after dynamic, that I would feel I needed a lot of time to kind of settle down again, that I felt very disturbed inside. And that my two sides, they were not really connected. And he said, he chuckled and he said, it will be very good for you to do enlightenment intensive. And so, because it bridges the two sides of the brain. Yeah.
Okay.
And so it, in a way, it still is, but much less. That I kind of felt, okay, I have to find this out. Yeah. As if this was like a job he gave to me to in this process to whatever my experience is. And I can say I'm living it. I cannot explain to you intellectually what happened. Yeah, I'm definitely more connected with myself inside, and this is what he kept saying me. Don't be afraid. Today I am actually less afraid. So this is.
Oh.
I'm curious about something. Was Osho supervising these groups and giving instructions to the therapists to lead it?
Yes. Yes. So it was like when there was a new process, and Garimo, who was the first one to lead this process in Pune, and I was in one of those. It was happening in a small room. There were very few of us in there, and she would write to him. Yeah. And then we all would have darshan together. And so first he would say to whoever was leading the group anything about the group. And if there was something, either you had question to the process as such, or something personal, because that was the unique situation, that when you're leading the process, then you are the leader, you are the facilitator. Yeah, you're supposed to know what you're doing, but then you also a human being who has difficulties here and there, or misunderstandings, and needs support. And so when you were sitting in front of Osho, we all were the same. We were disciples. Yeah. So, okay, one is facilitating and one is taking part, but there it's the shared important space that we are sitting with our master. Yeah. And so you had the opportunity and the chance to speak about something, if you were courageous enough, personal, what happened to you in the group, and everybody could hear it. Yeah. So there was something very opening, very like if you sit in this pool of others who are also sannyasis and disciples, it's not like in a family where you belong to the same parents. It's definitely different. You're sitting there as your individual, but on the other hand, you are together with the master. You have the support, and the support can also be that you hear somebody in your mind saying, what a bullshit she's saying. So it's part of it. Yeah. So it's not that it has to be like the support is there, and this balance which was created by, on one hand, you had to kind of uh, be there and pretend you know what you're doing. Yeah. Even if you didn't know, you had to act as if, and then see what happens. And then you can go to your master and say, da da da, da da da, and you get some comment, advice, or something. So that was a very precious situation. Yeah.
Yes, great. We always want to know about not objective so much, but subjective aspects of your life. Yeah, and how was it for you when ended Pune 1, then the ranch period came? You lived there too?
Yeah. It's
Yeah. Of course.
fun. In springtime, I had this desire. I want to be in California and sit in a swimming pool with a long drink in my hand.
Mm.
So I said, okay. And so I left, actually. I had to I didn't have any money. So I had to go to Germany to see if my father will give me something to go. And I did kind of everything in a stupid way. So I didn't get my visa. Yeah. And because I did things like that, going there with with a mala around my neck, and it was already the time that they were suspicious. And so they said, no, no. And I said, and they don't have to tell you why they refuse. But this one guy, he took a mercy, and he just pointed to one point on my application. I had forgotten to make a cross if I'm a terrorist or involved in a terrorist association. And so anyway, there I was with my dream unfulfilled. And I said, what am I going to do then? And I went to Miasto in Italy. Yeah, I said, okay, there is something. I'm here already, so let's do something. And there, it didn't really do it. After Pune, nothing really did it. Yeah. So I was there and I thought, but what do I really want to do? I said, go to Pune. So I got another ticket and I went back. So like 3 weeks later or 4 weeks later, I was back in Pune. And by that time it was April, and there was like some restlessness going on in the ashram. I'm not so good with time, the dates, but anyway, beginning of May, I think Osho left to the States.
You mean right after you arrived in Pune, he left?
Maybe 3 or 4 weeks later.
Wow.
I didn't know what to do. And in the office, I was told by Lakshmi, oh, so you go and lead groups. I don't know, I'm afraid, I can't do it. Okay, then you go to Geetham in California. And because the group department, basically all the people went there. So I did that with a little detour. And there, yeah, so there was a great swimming pool, and I was sitting there with my long drink.
Long drink. Dreams
Only a month later.
Come true.
Yeah.
Then comes a point that you go to the ranch or something like that.
Yeah, well, then I had to do my immigration thing, and once this was finished, then I left with my husband to the ranch, and that was it. Then I stayed there till
there all the time.
Yeah, in between, I was made director of Utsava, which was like a small community and a place, yeah. And but that didn't last long. And then I was back in Geetham, and then a few weeks later on the ranch. But there it was like, it was still very, very primitive. But wait a minute, there was, in that year, yes, we just from Geetham, we went with cars to Oregon. No? And then I went back to Los Angeles till I was clear. And then I traveled back then I was flying back to the ranch. Mm-hmm. Doing all kinds of jobs. Like a bummer was really when I came and there was this department where 2 lionesses would sit and check out what kind of work you do. So they said, and they looked at my papers and said, so you are a good worker. What would you like to do? And I said, oh, I can do anything. And they say, oh, that's good. I said, well, I have been in Vrindavan with Diksha for many years in Pune 1. And in Geetham, I was also in kitchen and bakery. So I'm okay with something else. Yeah? And say, good. So tomorrow you can start in the bakery.
Okay. Cool.
There I learned to make marzipan roses out of marzipan for birthday cakes, because there was a possibility that if somebody had birthday, somebody could order a cake and say what they want it on. And for a while I was making roses out of marzipan on birthday cakes.
So you stayed in the ranch till the end of it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So after going through a whole range of different jobs, so I stayed a bit longer to help dissolve the group department. And I had the idea that when we are starting in Italy, in the Villa Volpi, which is like in Italy, not too far away from Locarno, and we will need anything, and we didn't have anything. So I had experience from years before living in Thailand and having a whole house, putting my household into a big container and letting it shipped. I say, well, it's easy enough. Let's just fill a container and send it all, like sheets and massage tables and all that stuff. And which was great, because then we had when it finally arrived, we had like a base to start. And there I was for a year and a half. And then I bought myself a ticket to go to Greece when Osho was then Greece. And the day I was supposed to fly, he got arrested. So I didn't fly, I stayed. And then I lived on my own. I left Villa Volpi because I felt it was not my place. It was like Tirsa's place. Yeah, he was doing his thing, and I didn't feel like being part of that. So I left and lived in Munich for a while. And then like 87, end of 87, it was possible to go to Pune 2 again. So there I was.
So Pune 2, Pune 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Then they started a new phase, yeah.
A very new phase in many ways, because it was basically without Osho. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was only 2 years, because he came there in in autumn of 87, and then it was 88, 89 in January he died, and 89 was already quite for me it was very intense to just feel how frail he became. But then again, like his love, like what for me the main thing, what Osho meant to me when I came to Pune one, was that for the first time I experienced what unconditional love is. And unconditional love doesn't need a body. So in a way, I felt I was, silly to say that I was prepared when he was leaving. It's not possible to be prepared, but at the same time, something didn't change if he was in the body or not in the body. And this is for me now too, that I have this feeling Osho is just in me. It's not, I wouldn't know how to separate myself from him. So it's, I don't have to be in Pune to be connected. I don't have to sit in Samadhi to be connected with him. I can sit in my garden and be connected. It's not, it's more, if I'm available to be open to that space, it's there no matter where I am. Yeah.
No boundaries.
no boundaries, no matter how old, no matter what else is happening. And so I feel very grateful and very blessed because with some people I see who are miss him terribly. Yes, I would love him to. With him, it was always fresh. You never know what he would say and do. Yeah, and so you not that you had to be on your toes, but you just were. It was like, yeah, like one of my most precious moments with Osho was when he would come to Buddha Hall with a car, so you would hear the sound and the wheels on the gravel, and then the car would stop, and you would hear the sound of the door, and then you would know any moment he's coming around the corner. But you didn't know because sometimes he would exchange a few words with whoever is opening the door for him, so you didn't know. So this and there he comes. Yeah,
Mhm.
this to me that was like the most precious. This is these moments I miss. Yeah, these moments I wish he would just come around the corner. Yeah.
These precious moments, breathing your silence.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Ganga, how did it develop for you to start this training in Satori and awareness intensive retreats?
Uh, yeah. I mean, somehow it always felt that this was my thing. That uh, this is how I started, even before meeting Osho in person or being a sannyasi. And then uh, being in it so many times, assisting, learning all the different aspects, but most of all, slowly feeling um, I start to understand. I'm a slow learner. Yeah, I'm kind of just slide into things, and I'm not like some people have these very bright minds and they go into and they figure it all out, and that I'm not like that. It's more that all of a sudden I notice, now I understand, but it kind of just happens. And the Satori process is a great process to do this because there is no right way to do it. It's only to find your way, how you do it. What is your speed? Are you slow or do you need time? Or are you somebody who just jumps into it? Are you somebody who prepares, who is very, very attentive to every step in the way? Or are you just jumping and then you look and say, oh, what is, and you go back and you kind of work it through to understand what happened. And there, everybody needs to find and can find their own way. And for me, this is one of the most important aspects which I want to support in this process. That uh, for me, it has to do with learning to trust one's own nature. That we all have it what we need. That we all so wonderfully equipped by nature that we all can do it, but we just don't trust it. We think, oh, I have to learn this, I have to get better in that, I'm not good in that. So this self-critical attitude, rejecting attitude, creates a lot of unnecessary pain and trouble for oneself and for everybody else. And so in the Satori process, I really like to be with people I'm hesitating even to say encouraging, because I don't want to do anything. Yeah, I'm just with them, and maybe I say something, and if it works, good. If it doesn't work, also good. Like, I don't have an investment, because I don't think I know what this person needs. Yeah. But if there is something which comes up, I say it, who am I to get in the way? And if it's good for them, wonderful. If not, also wonderful. It's, what do I know? Why should I get worried about it? Yeah.
Mm.
So, in my way, is slipping into inner freedom. For other people, it's like more, boom, opening the door, making a decision. Yeah. And others kind of just slide into it. It doesn't matter. Main thing is we let go of this life denying, life negating attitude which we learn. And if
Wow.
there's a turn, then it's the innocence and the joy and the playfulness comes.
We have other things to ask you, but I want to
Yes.
know how is it structured? You have a shorter version, a longer version, and a training. Is that correct?
Yes. And now even the fourth step, the advanced, yeah, which is
Ah,
being created. So in the like the experience of Charles Berner was that it takes about 2.5 days to get into really take a dive, and to have a glimpse of a direct experience. It's not guaranteed, but some people are faster, but for many it takes that long. So for him, that's how the story goes. It was 3 days was good, because that provided for most people um, to have a direct experience. And for him, as a family counselor, he had made the experience that people who have a sense of self, they don't come back so often. They learn how to learn. They say, that's how it goes. And they can use what they learn, apply it in different situations. But people who don't have that, they keep coming back. So for the people, that was helpful, but for him also, yeah, he had more time to deal with people who really needed it, and not just go with the same person over and over.
ah,
This is how the 3 days version of the Enlightenment Intensive came to life. And then there was the experience that it's worthwhile to have more time to go deeper into different aspects of yourself. And so then there were longer ones, 7 days, 2 weeks, one, even 6 weeks ones he did at times.
Wow.
And since it was in Pune 1, one of the key processes, in Pune 2, where we kind of had to more design what we do, because Osho wasn't there, the idea that actually it's not the emphasis on enlightenment is like something from which is not really helpful. That in the Osho world, it's more to be aware. So we changed the name from Enlightenment Intensive to Awareness Intensive, to emphasize awareness and not to get a goal, because awareness doesn't have a goal. Yeah,
yes, yes.
it's endless to take some of this pressure away from I have to get it. Yeah. So even if you do your exploration and you don't have a so-called a very deep where fireworks and flowers and shower on you, you still can have benefit a lot from it. And that also, if you do it quite often, there aren't uh, these kind of Big Bang experiences. Yeah, not that they're less deep; they're probably more deeper. But it's like when you fall in love for the first time, it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
thing hits you which you have never experienced before. When it happens the second time, it's already different. Yeah, and it's with that and the inner similar. You cannot have anything happen as you experienced it before. It's always
Mm.
new. And
Mm.
yeah. So this
Yeah.
is how it got changed to that. And then it was soon that you have first, it was helpful to have done a who is in, and then you do a Satori. That was a 7-day version called. Because yeah, it's helpful to kind of know what you're getting into, because it's an intense process, one of the most intense processes, and it's not for everybody. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it's good if you go into something for a whole week, it's like, and you don't like it and it doesn't suit you, it's torture. Yeah, 3 days
Yeah.
Mm.
you can survive.
Yeah.
Yeah?
You can survive.
And then if you have survived it well and you want more, you come again and do the 7 days. Yeah,
Yeah. Step by step.
Yes. And Ganga is all combined with Osho's meditation
yeah, yeah.
during your processes.
They're
Yes.
very, very crucial, very important for the process. Yeah. And also, like, I play a lot of quotes. I have a selection, so it's not like to do the full discourse in Pune. Also, we wouldn't go to discourse. Yeah, we would have some. We would go on inquiring while discourse was happening, and then we would have quotes in between to certain issues which were pertinent for people at that moment. Yeah, and so yeah, I have a great collection of Osho quotes because my experience is there's nobody who can say it better. Yeah, it goes.
Yeah.
People are much more open to receive, even if what factual you say is similar, or you explaining something. If he does it, it has just a different quality, and why not have him there?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. We want to go there.
Yes. As soon as
the,
possible.
and also you have something on your website that I like very much, like ink song brush dance. Tell
Mhm.
us about that.
Yes.
Well, this year it actually wanted to find expression in the desire. I had the desire. I want to learn how to paint clouds, and I have no clue how to do this. And it all started that this Master Chu appeared, and he was the only guy who was allowed to, as a non-sannyasi, to lead a course. And I was assisting him getting like the whole organization of material together. And I just loved it because it's just like the Satori process, that you cannot correct anything. Yeah. It's like in that moment, what you do with the ink and the water, that's what it is. You cannot paint over like with acrylics or uh, oil. Yeah, you cannot do this. Then it's all
Mm.
black, yeah, or all gray. But there is no. It is what it is.
One
And
chance.
one chance. Yeah. So I call these paint. And I'm not interested in learning to write Chinese characters because I don't speak Chinese. I call it characters of the moment. Yeah, whatever in to encourage that people um, let themselves express themselves freely on the paper, and then you have to wait till it's dry to see what comes out. Yeah, it's not immediate. So there are many aspects which are very similar to the awareness intensive process. So I like this technique, and due to many reasons, this year this cloud painting hasn't happened, but it will.
Ah, this comes a song to me also. We are moving the way of the white clouds.
Exactly, exactly. Because this is
And
actually my experience, what happens inside, huh? That um, just like clouds, you look and there is all kinds of shapes and forms, and there are monsters and animals and angels and whatnot in the sky. Yeah. And it can be very stormy and dense or very light and lofty. And there's nothing, there is never anything. It's just, yeah, there's a sky and there are some droplets and some temperatures and some movements, and then it looks like it, and it's in the inside it's the same. It's like
Yes.
it's nothing
wow,
to hold on to. So I want to learn to paint this.
wow, that's beautiful. And also, we want to know about clowning.
Yes.
Think I'm not a clown.
No?
It's great to do something which you have no clue of. Yeah. And, again, it's something to be in the moment. Yeah. And I have this friend who is a clown. So she knows exercises and things to do. Yeah. And then it's a wonderful space to do inquiry part of the time, and then jump into clowning. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ah,
And then you go
there's
back.
no ego there.
Yeah.
Clowning is the end of the ego, actually, because you
Yes.
destroy yourself somehow. Yeah, destroy the
Yeah,
ego.
or you really exaggerate
Yeah.
one trait
Patterns.
of yourself. Yeah.
Mm.
And you just make it so that everybody has to laugh because it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's beautiful, Ganga.
And
And
laughing destroy egos.
Yeah.
Beautiful your
we
job. Yeah, you have
these these
muitas
courses
facetas.
are based in Germany.
No, I mean I live in on Corfu, and
Ah, in Greece. Great.
yes. And last year I put up a big tent, a party tent, so there can be all kinds of out, things can happen in the weather here. It's like in the season, it's all you need is like a roof over the head, so it's not too hot. And if it's raining, you don't get wet. And so yeah, so I do it here. I have been doing the clowning in different countries, yeah, if people want to do it, and the calligraphy as well. But it always depends if somebody is into organizing it, like the calligraphy. It's a bit of a organizing because you need lots of materials, tables and the brushes and the ink and blah blah blah. So it hasn't been happening on a steady place, but now that I'm getting on with the years and slowly try to be a bit more at home, I hope to get it going again here. Yeah.
Ah, okay. And to have information about this is in your website, yeah?
Yes, it would be in the website.
Awareness Academy.
Yes,
Yes,
of
that's right.
Academy
Nice name.
of Awareness and Creative Expression. But the website is Awareness Academy of Awareness. Yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. I think
Alright.
we have come to 1 hour already. So
Okay.
Ganga, thanks a lot.
You,
Very, very inspiring and loving your interview. We just love it.
great, wonderful. Yeah,
So beautiful.
I mean, I never know what comes out of my mouth, and
So thank you so
so
much.
thank
Yeah.
you. Okay,
Thank you. Much
all the,
love.
much love, all the best. Ciao, ciao, ciao,
Ciao,
Ciao,
ciao.
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 Who knows? Maybe you come. Maybe I come.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. I say yes.
And I see the pictures. When I see the pictures, when I saw that bamboo painting also picture, I
Ah,
just
yeah.
love it. You know,
Yeah.
let's see what the
And
future brings to us. Yeah.
Corfu is a wonderful island to make holidays.
Hmm.
It's not.
Okay. Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao,
Bye
ciao.
bye.
The awareness intensis is a gelling of East and West from traditional method of where the student just is facing the wall by himself and the therapeutic approach where somebody either in a group of people who work together under the supervision of somebody like the Carl Rogers approach of the non-directive therapy. So this combination where in the presence of another in a very structured way, everybody has the equal chance to go into who they are in the moment and communicate that as their own experience. So there is no dialogue, even if one is working in a diet. Everybody learns to be with themselves, to really bring awareness to what's going on inside and to gather the courage to speak the truth, just without being interfered by somebody, but having the support from another. So it's a very powerful method, and which brought many, many people to the direct experience of themselves. So it is about to get more and more familiar and friendly with oneself, to really get to know oneself. It's really an exploration, and then when the gong is, to let go. So it's not a following up, it's a constant reminder to be present. So the gong is like this, the stick of the Zen master, stop. Very powerful, because we are very identified with our story. So if there's something, we want to wallow into it. We go into da-da-da. We don't want to be let go and look again what is now. So the technique is powerful because it gives ample opportunity to take a look at how my personality structure is, and at the same time not get hooked into it, but keep looking for this which doesn't change.